Mathison. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman Vitter and Ranking Member Shaheen, the members of the committee, for inviting me to speak here today. My name is Tom Mathison. I'm a principal co-owner of Mathison Architects. We are a full-service architectural and planning firm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I am a small business owner. Our firm is less than 2 years old, and we've already grown from 2 to 7 staff members, and we've recently moved to larger quarters to accommodate our growth. I'm proud to be here representing not only my company, but also the National Small Business Association, where I currently serve on the board of directors and the tax committee chair. NSBA has been a consistent proponent of comprehensive tax reform, and we welcome Congress's efforts to replace the current broken tax code. However, we also recognize that the challenges you face to achieve comprehensive reform in the near future. Therefore, in the interim, we believe this measure, the Small Business Tax Compliance Relief Act, will reduce the complexity and costs of compliance to promote economic growth. NSBA's members consistently rank the tax and tax compliance burden among their top issues to be addressed. 1 in 3 small business owners reported spending more than 80 hours, 2 full work weeks per year, dealing with just federal taxes and compliance. More than half of NSBA members have fewer than 5 employees without in-house accounting, legal, and human resources staff. This means that business owners, like me, have no other choice but to hire outside help to keep track of all the reporting and filing requirements and changes. In fact, according to our member survey, only 15% of small business owners handle their taxes internally. When we asked our members to rate the most significant challenge posed by the federal tax code, the clear majority, 59%, picked administrative burdens, and this is up from 53% just a year ago. In addition to time, the out-of-pocket cost for legal and accounting services adds thousands more. I personally know this to be true in my firm. I spend significant time each week in the administration and filing of monthly and quarterly income and payroll reports, as well as trying to stay informed of changes to the tax code, changes to regulations, and the status of expired tax extenders, and so on. The U.S. Small Business Administration Office of Advocacy reports that the proportionate cost of compliance in terms of cost per employee is 3 times higher for small business than that of larger firms. And when surveyed, 70% of our members expressed strong support for broad reform of the tax system that reduces both corporate and individual tax rates. Most small businesses are sole proprietorships, subchapter S corporations, or limited liability companies like my company. 83% of these businesses pay taxes on their business at the personal income level. They're so-called pass-through entities, subject to individual tax rates. For my firm, these pass-through implications are a major driver in our own tax strategy, succession planning, and governance. And so we believe, NSBA believes, that addressing only corporate tax reform will only lead to even greater complexity and a massive tipping of the scales in favor of the nation's largest companies at the expense of small businesses. And this in turn will stymie growth from what is widely recognized as the primary creator of jobs, and that is small business. So we support the legislation that Chairman Vitter has announced today, and we believe that it will, by increasing the threshold for cash accounting to $10 million, will provide the flexibility and simplicity that small businesses need. I use a cash accounting system. 46% of small businesses use cash accounting. The health insurance deductibility for those who are self-employed will allow those businesses to capture the payroll tax on health insurance premiums that they alone pay. Small firms and NSBA members rated the full deductibility of health insurance costs as the #1 most important deduction or credit when it comes to stimulating small business growth. And then requiring the IRS to convene small business review panels when making rule changes that would impact small businesses, and directing the IRS to produce a report that details definitions that can be standardized and made layman-proof will add clarity. Finally, NSBA believes that without change, the current tax code will continue to serve as a disadvantage to small businesses. the ever-growing patchwork of credits, deductions, and sunset dates is a roller coaster ride for small business without the slightest indication of what's around the corner. However, short of comprehensive reform, we must fix the tax problems with the current tax code by developing simplification members. The work of this committee will lead to a better outcome in that respect. Again, I commend you for working on this legislation and bringing it to the Senate. I would like again to thank you, Chairman Vitter, and the members of this committee for the opportunity to speak with you today.